I would say I'm a very loyal guy in general, but this makes me feel like I'm a traitor. Hey guys, how's it going? Sorry that you have to see a pretty boring wall back there. I am moving things around to make it look better in this studio. Stay tuned. Make sure to click a like and subscribe. Hit the bell notification so you know when I post a new video. A lot of cool things coming soon. A lot of cool things. Alright, before I tell you my experience using the Sony A7S III versus my experience using the Canon R5, and answering the big question, am I switching? I'd like to share with you the story of how it goes down. So, in the beginning of time, when I was using my beloved Canon R, amazing pictures, beautiful footage coming out of this camera. However, it couldn't do 120 frames per second in 4K. Not even in HD. It can only do 120 frames per second in 720p. If you're new to this subject, 120 frames per second is just allow you to shoot in slow motion because you can slow down the footage in post editing. And I love slow motion shots, so that's kind of a negative point for me. Nevertheless, I still love the camera and I shot with my R for a long time. Then crazy thing happened at a wedding. Yes, at a specific wedding. If you follow my channel from day one, you know what I'm talking about. Basically, I fell into the pool and lost around $5,500 worth of equipment. Yikes. So my Canon R was damaged at that wedding. It was so wet and Canon couldn't even fix it. Thankfully, I was doing some really cool project at the time and was able to get the R5, and then I put extra money to buy some RF lenses. It was a pretty complicated process and I don't want to go into it very deeply in this video, but basically it was during the COVID time and it took a long time for Canon to fulfill my order and they couldn't even fix any of my equipment, so I wasn't very happy about it. And I had a lot of deadlines back then, so I had to rent a lot of equipment and more money out of window. Regardless, I love the setup with the R5. The pictures were so amazing. The quality of the video is absolutely great for me. I can shoot 120 frames per second in 4K and all of that. So basically slow motion with a very high quality video. But, and this is a big but, it overheated quite a bit actually. It was at that one shot when I was videoing my client in the hot Florida sun and it overheated in like 15 minutes. The camera was completely shut down and I had to wait for like, I don't know, 15-20 minutes. Don't quote me on the exact time because it was a while ago. But it was very embarrassing when I had to tell my client to wait 20 minutes after you just shoot for only 15 minutes, you know? I think after 15-20 minutes waiting, the camera came back again and we was able to shoot for maybe a little bit more and then it overheated again. It was at that moment when I was thinking this camera might not be the best camera for me to shoot video, to be a reliable camera to use for more professional shoot. I think the Florida heat definitely played a big factor into the reason why the camera overheated so many times. And also I shot everything in 4K HQ, which was the highest quality 4K that camera can produce. Noted that if I shoot the whole thing in 4K non-HQ, which was the lower quality 4K, or with HD, camera might not overheat that frequently. But I'm the kind of guy that would love to always push the camera to the limit to get the best quality out of a camera. Anyway, it did push me into the direction of considering the Sony A7S III. So far my experience using the Sony A7S III has been great. The biggest factor for me is that that camera does not overheat yet. It's definitely more reliable so that I can comfortably say that I can bring that camera to the weddings without any issue. The footage coming out of that camera was great. 120 frames per second slow motion shot. It's amazing. Exposing S-Log3, it was a bit challenge comparing to exposing C-Log3, which I'm familiar with. Basically, S-Log3 is a profile picture from the Sony camera and C-Log3 is a profile picture from Canon. But I'm getting better at it though. Colors coming out of Sony A7S III is great, although I do miss editing editing my footage with the Canon because Canon color is just different. Now, photography with Sony A7S III was okay, it was not that great. It was perfectly amazing if you just post your picture into social media like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. But if you want to shoot a wedding and if you want to zoom in or crop in, it's very difficult because it's only 12 megapixel. So photography was okay, but not that great. I mean, compared to R5, which is one of the most professional photo camera, I would say. Overall, it is a great camera. I love using it. Am I switching though? Stay tuned for the next few videos to figure it out. Bye!